Need computer training for a group or office? Contact us today to get a free demo of our training at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.
As you saw in the previous lesson, you have the ability to edit the individual work availability schedules of selected work resources in your project file. These scheduling changes are made as deviations from a selected base calendar, such as the standard calendar or the night shift calendar. These base calendars are the calendars that you select when initially creating your project file to choose a default work availability schedule for your project. Sometimes you may need to create a new base calendar for ease of use within your project file. For example, you may choose to use the standard calendar for your project file since the majority of your work resources will use that as their default work availability schedule. However, assume that you also used a pool of part-time people as work resources who only had a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. work schedule availability at all times. In this case, you may want to create a new base calendar that you can assign to each resource as they are entered into the resource sheet, so that you will not have to individually adjust each resource's work schedule availability, as we saw how to do in the last lesson. This can be a real time saver, as you can simply select a base calendar directly from the resource sheet view for any work resources as you create them. That way you won't need to adjust each resource's work schedule individually. You can create a new base calendar by clicking the Change Working Time button that appears in the Properties button group on the Project tab within the ribbon to open the Change Working Time dialog box. This dialog box allows you to change the working time for selected resources or change the default base calendar used for your current project, as well as create new base calendars. To create a new base calendar to use in your project, click the Create New Calendar button that's shown within this dialog box. Doing this will open the Create New Base Calendar dialog box where you can enter the name that you want to give to this calendar into the name text box. You can select to either create an entirely new base calendar, or you can select an existing base calendar to modify as the basis for your new base calendar. If you select to use a copy of another calendar as the basis for your new calendar, then select the name of the calendar to copy from the drop-down within this dialog box. When you've made your choices, click the OK button to continue. In the Change Working Time dialog box, you're now viewing the base calendar that you've just created. You should see its name appear in the For Calendar box at the top of this dialog box. Next, use the Work Weeks tab to set the new default work week schedule for this base calendar. You can also set any base days off on the Exceptions tab if necessary. Once you've edited the work availability schedule for this calendar, click the OK button at the bottom of the Change Working Time dialog box to save the new base calendar. At this point, you can then simply select the name of this calendar from the Base Calendar drop-down field, wherever that choice appears within your project file, such as within the Resource Sheet view when creating your work resources.
Like what you see? Get a free demo of our training for groups of 5 or more at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.